already.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is a one-time comeback of Strictly Talking. I am Matt. This is Bryce. We're
Yo,
going to
what's up,
get some
everybody? You know
NFL
me.
predictions. Yeah, this is going to go on both of our channels. So it's going to be fun. You're probably going to see it more on his channel. And honestly, I think he might even post on TikTok. Depends on how long we have.
Probably. Yeah, maybe.
We're going to go over some NFL predictions. We're going to talk a little bit about the predictions, but we're not going to go too in depth because,
Mhm.
we're just in
Yeah,
preseason now.
yeah.
This is our-
Before we start, I just want to say we were supposed to record this yesterday,
Yeah.
but I wasn't able to because I'm not going to get too far into things. But let's
Very
just
valid.
say tune in to Amazon Prime for the first opening broadcast of Thursday Night Football of the
You get
year.
a very valid
I'll tell you
reason
that right
to
now.
be
I'll tell you
there.
that right now.
All right.
So, yeah.
Before we diverge too much, Bryce, why don't you start with your first place team in the NFC North?
First place team in the NFC North, I think I still have to go with the Lions. I think even though they lost Ben Johnson, I think even though they lost Aaron Glenn, they lost CJ Gardner Johnson, they lost a bunch of their coaching staff. I still think that until this team or any other team in the NFC North shows that they can win the NFC North, it's got to be the Lions because Dan Campbell is still there. Most of their core is still there, but I think the question mark is what will this team look like without Ben Johnson and without Aaron Glenn and without a lot of their coaching staff.
I think you and I both are probably going to have a very similar opinion on the NFC North. I also have the Lions winning it at 12 and 5. I do question what they're going to look like until Aiden Hutchinson comes back.
He's
With
supposed to, he's already practicing.
yeah, the
He's
problem is he's
practicing in full.
practicing, but the question is how fully healthy will he be? Are we going to see Aiden Hutchinson? Or are we going to see, oh, we got a little special visitor, which I am house
Hey,
sitting for my dad, so there's a good chance we'll have special visitors interrupting me as well. But will we have a fully healthy Aiden Hutchinson? And also, will they make a move for one of the names that are out there, like Zarius Smith or even a Micah Parsons? I'd be scared as a Packers fan if Micah Parsons would land in Detroit. But Bryce, who do you have number two?
I first want to say I didn't say the Detroit Lions record. I think they're going to be 12 and 5 too. I think that they're not going to really take a step back if at all. They went for well, no, they're going to take 2 games of a step back because they were
Yeah.
14 and 3 last year. But I think in second place, I think you still have to have the Green Bay Packers because they have a lot less question marks going on with their team than the Minnesota Vikings do and the Chicago Bears do. Jordan Love is still Jordan Love. That defense is still insane. That defense is very underrated. They added one of their big question marks in receiver, and they added Matthew Golden in the draft. And Tucker Kraft is coming back. Luke Musgrave is still there. Josh Jacobs is still there. And then if Jordan Love gets hurt, we see exactly what Malik Willis can do. So I think that the Packers will finish second at 11 and 6.
So once again, I think we're going to end up agreeing on the NFC North, but I think that'll be the only division we fully agree on. I have the
Yeah.
Packers finishing 10 and 7. My only question mark is their defense. Yes, it's still good. They lost Jair Alexander, which does make me nervous, but they signed Nate Hobbs, who is much healthier. We know Jair is good for maybe 5 to 6 games a season. While Nate Hobbs, I'm not too familiar with him, but I know he was a pretty solid
He
cornerback
was
for
a
about
former
this.
Raider.
So
Yeah.
I feel good. You still have like Quay Walker, who's developing very well. You have a very strong front seven with
You
Rashawn
still have
Gary.
Rashawn Gary there.
They have Kenny Clark, I believe
Yeah,
he's
Kenny
still
Clark's still
there.
there.
Honestly, their safeties are one of my favorite duos in the league. I mean, I feel great about them. As a Packers fan, I'm actually going to watch their game against Carolina in Green Bay this year, and I'm trying to buy
Go
some.
Panthers.
Hey, chill. I'm trying to buy tickets to see the Steelers face the Packers this year in Pittsburgh because I live nearby there. But I have the Packers going 10 and 7. Bryce, who do you have in third place?
In third place, this will be where I anger a lot of people because I have the Chicago Bears finishing third
Wow, that is
in the
surprising.
NFC North. I think that even though they have a lot of question marks, their biggest question mark they don't have to worry about right now because we saw exactly what Caleb Williams was last year. He was, all things considered, really good as a rookie last year. Granted, he didn't set the world on fire like everybody else thought he was going to do, but he threw for 3,500 yards. He threw for the second most yards as a Bears quarterback ever in one season. And now they get Ben Johnson. They improved their offensive line. They traded for Joe Tooney. I think that this team will win 9 games.
You know,
They're going to go 9-8.
I really thought we were going to fully agree on this division, but I actually have the Vikings at third and 9-8. I really like what JJ McCarthy's been doing in camp. I think we're seeing some really solid throws out of him, and he has the best of it. He has the best situation of any quarterback in the league. He is technically a rookie. I believe that while Caleb Williams is going to have a much better year, I just don't believe the team around him is ready yet. I like their additions, but I just like what the Vikings have in Kevin McConnell. And can I say, I think the NFC North is the best coach division in
It,
the
yeah,
NFL.
it is. There's not a bad
Um,
coach in this division. There's not.
there's not a bad head coach or a bad coordinator in this division.
There's not a bad quarterback in this division
Like I
either.
think any
Well,
of the
no,
four coaches,
no, three out of the four are good.
I think
Honestly.
any of the four coaches in this division could be coach of the year coach of the year candidates easily.
Yeah,
But I really like the fact that the Vikings have Justin Jefferson, and after his suspension, Jordan Addison. You're still rocking with TJ Hawkinson. Aaron Jones is amazing. Even in his older age, your elite defense is scary as can be. I mean, and you still have a guy like, I don't know, you still have a lot of guys on that team who are playing a high level. And
you
it's
have Ivan
hard for me to
Pace,
pick them.
who's a pretty good, who was an undrafted guy a few years ago, who's turned into a really solid middle
And let's not
linebacker
forget
for
the fact
them.
that they had a very solid draft. Dallas Turner. I
Yeah,
mean,
did
I'm really,
sure.
as a Packers fan, I my least favorite team of all, of course, is the Bears, but I really do get nervous about the Vikings. I have them going 9-8. Chris, where do you have the
Okay,
Vikings finishing at?
I have the Minnesota Vikings going. I think I have them going 5-12. I think that I do think that we have gone. You've seen the Vikings go from Kirk Cousins, well, from Brett Favre to Teddy Bridgewater to Kirk Cousins, having all those really solid quarterbacks. And you had Sam Darnold win them 13 games last year. You have a guy, they drafted a guy in the top 15 picks of the NFL draft who didn't throw more than 200 passes in a season. They have a quarterback right now in a pass heavy offense who has not shown the ability that he can pass the football consistently. And yes, you were to say, oh, he won the national championship. Well, guess what? Will Howard won the national championship last year, and Will Howard was a 6th round pick. I don't care about, and this is coming from an Ohio State fan, by the way. I have said I valued JJ McCarthy as a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick coming out of the draft. And he didn't get to play last year, so we didn't get to prove my point. But I think that we will see the deficiencies in JJ McCarthy as a passer this year. And I don't think it's honestly going to get much better. I think that we will see how average JJ McCarthy actually is.
I mean, this is going to be technically his rookie year, so I'm expecting him to make rookie mistakes. I think we're going to see history this year in Chicago. I think Caleb Williams will break 4,000 yards.
Yep.
I do believe I'm expecting an insane season from Caleb Williams. I'm thinking 4,200 yards, 36, 37 touchdowns, and less than 10 picks. I think we're going to see the Caleb Williams everyone expected because this offense is going to
Mm-hmm.
be outstanding, but I believe his defense is going to let him down. And
Yeah.
it's sad because their O line got so much better. We saw that they snagged an outstanding offensive lineman from Kansas City, gave him his
And Joe Tooney.
like he deserved. The,
Didn't they
he,
get Andre Jackson too? They got Andre Jackson too,
Yeah,
I
they
think.
have they made outside the Patriots, they probably had the best offseason in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
and like this comes from a Packers fan, so this is hard to say, but I do really, really believe in the Bears, but I just don't believe in their defense. I love their offense. I think Caleb Williams is going to step up. DJ Moore is going to be an all-pro. I believe that DeAndre Swift is going to have a resurgence in his career, and I
Yeah.
really like Cole
He's
Kmet.
got his old OC. He's
I
got his
like
old
Cole Kmet,
OC.
and then also I like their draft pick of
Colston
Colston
Loveland.
Loveland. I really like that. The two tight end tandem that we saw work so well for Baltimore, who their quarterback, while he is not as mobile, has a very similar arm to Lamar Jackson. I love what they're doing there. He might have a better arm than Lamar Jackson, in my opinion. I think he's a better deep ball thrower, but you're going to look at very similar situations. I could see Caleb Williams having a second year Lamar Jackson season this year. Just not good enough to have a winning record. Bryce, move on to the NFC South. Who do you have going first?
Hot take. The
Oof.
Carolina Panthers are
I was
going to
waiting for
win
it. I was
the
waiting
NFC
for it.
South. The Carolina Panthers are going to win the NFC South. I think that this is the Bryce Young. This is the Bryce Young breakout tour. This is the Bryce Young breakout tour. They will win the division, and
Are
they
we
were
going
going
to
to go.
revisit this get video in 3 months?
If they don't, we will revisit this in 3 months. Yes, if they don't. But I am a sole believer 100% in Dave Canales and what he plans to do. Look, they had an elite run game last year, and
Yeah.
then they signed Rico Dowdle, and then they got Trevor Etienne in the draft, who and then once Jonathan Brooks comes back next year, they are going to have four guys who could potentially start on any NFL team any given Sunday. They improved their receiving core with Teteroa McMillan. So they have Teteroa McMillan, Adam Thielen, and Jalen Coker. Jatavion Sanders is taking a massive leap. Their
So is
offensive
Xavier
line
Leggett.
was solid last year. Xavier Leggett is still good. So they have four receivers who you could rely on. Jatavion Sanders, four running backs potentially, and then Bryce Young, and then Andy Dalton as a mentor and a solid offensive line. Yes, that defense still has a lot of holes after they traded Brian Burns, but the Panthers are building the more important side of the football right now. And if you can build up your franchise quarterback right now, which is something that I think they have done, I think they will win the division.
Can I say how ironic it is that you have made such a big shift on Bryce Young as someone who was 2 years ago hated this man with a
Oh
burning
yeah,
passion,
believe me.
and now
Yeah.
you believe he is the franchise savior of your second favorite team or your 1A
Yes.
to your 1B?
They're 1A, 1B. The Colts and the Panthers are 1A, 1B. I don't
I mean,
really
you've been a Panthers fan for the longest time. It's
for
funny because
going
like
into year 15 now.
it's kind of funny. We're diverging for like a second. We don't have too long, so we're gonna diverge for a split second. Bryce cannot be called a bandwagoner when it comes to NFL teams. His two teams are the Colts and the Panthers.
You can't call me a
There's no
bandwagoner. You
bandwagoning those
can't.
teams.
I have the least I you could call you a bandwagoner before you call me a
Hold on,
bandwagoner.
you know I'm a Packers fan.
I know you're not. I know you're not a
Like,
bandwagoner. But
everyone
you
wants to
they
throw
can
out
call
here.
you a bandwagoner before they can call me a
Zach, the
bandwagoner.
Colts and the Panthers are two of the most poverty franchises of all time. But
Outside of the Browns and the Lions,
but
top
my
four.
number one, I'm keeping it simple. Give me Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield threw for 41 touchdowns last year. Yes, he lost Liam Cohen. That makes me nervous, but we have seen him lose Dave Canales. Everyone says he's going to step back. He loses Liam Cohen, probably not going to step back. Still has Mike Evans. Still has Chris Godwin when he comes back. And now he gets a Mecca Buka. Did I say that right?
Yep, Emeka Egbuka,
Dude,
OSU
he
guy.
has three number one options as his receivers. And then what's his name? Oh, his tight end. I forget his
Kate
name.
Otten.
Cade Otton, who's still really good, and everyone's favorite player of all time, Bucky Irving, still with Rashad White as a backup, very good offensive line, a decent head coach. I have a hard time not giving the Buccaneers a 10-7 record.
I I can't drop the Bucks more than second. I think they have less question marks than the Falcons and the Saints do. I think that their offense is going to still be good, if not better, because the addition of Emeka Ibuka really helps them. I do think their defense still has a lot of question marks, and their defense wasn't bad last year. But defenses do not get better with age, especially corners and safeties. And this is a team who, yes, they are 1 year older, so I do think that they will take a step back. And yes, I do love Antoine Winfield. Yes, I do love Levante David, but Levante David's 35 now. Can we rely on Levante David at this point to still be an elite linebacker? And I
But
don't know if we can.
I think the issue is with this division, it is so bad that you can take a step back and still win the division.
That's true.
I mean, you're them being second, realistically, like they're probably a game back from winning the division.
Yeah.
Like
I think,
for
yeah,
me,
so I do think 9-8. I
my
think 9
second
and 8
place
is enough.
team is a tie. It's the Falcons are also 10-7. But I give the tiebreaker to the Buccaneers. The reason I give this to the Falcons is because what we're watching out of Michael Penix, he's looking really good. Michael Penix, not only is he a second year quarterback, but he's very versatile. and he's very poised. If you watch him, his age where he played multiple years in college is stepping up. Instead of
Yeah.
making mistakes you're going to see a JJ McCarthy make or what Caleb Williams did last year, you're going to get a poised, very ready quarterback. Now ready to step into an offense that still has Kyle Pitts, who can be amazing. Forget what the fantasy owners think. I don't care. This is talking straight football.
He's a solid tight end.
Bijan Robinson, Darnell Mooney,
I'll tell that here.
Drake London, like
Ray Ray McLeod.
what was that?
Ray McLeod.
Still,
Like this offense is
and their defense is still not bad at all. You still have Matt Judon. If he can pick it back up after last season, you still have outstanding cornerbacks. Your safeties look good, and you have a pretty good head coach. If he can figure out time management, this team could win the division. I just give the experience of the Buccaneers the edge and win their tiebreaker. I still have the Falcons going 10-7. Who do you have as number three? Number three, Bryce.
I have the Falcons. I think I would think I'd have to be on some sort of high level drugs to say that the Saints would finish anything before this division with how
The Saints are
terrible that team is going to be this year. I think that the Atlanta Falcons are still the third place team because yes, they have question marks, but it's a lot less question marks than the Saints have. Michael Penix is going to be the guy. And if Michael Penix isn't, you still can go back to Kirk
yeah.
Cousins. You have Bijan Robinson, you have Tyler Algier, you have Drake London, Raymond McLeod, Darnell Mooney. You have a solid offensive line. You have Kyle Pitts. This offense is going to be the life force of the Atlanta Falcons. The issue with them is not their offense. It's been and still will be their defense because they cannot sack the quarterback. And they drafted two guys who can do that, but I still don't think that it's going to be enough because they were two guys who you could argue shouldn't have been drafted in the first round anyways, and Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. Neither one of them should have been drafted where they were. They were drafted way too high.
James Pierce was the only guy of theirs who was actually a first round draft pick. I think James Pierce should have been a higher pick. He got definitely shafted.
Yeah.
My third place team is the Carolina Panthers at 9-8. I do believe this is a step up season. I believe that Bryce Young is going to be right there. He's going to be a Pro Bowler, in my opinion. I think he's going to have a great year. He's going to step up. We're going to get 20 plus touchdowns. He's going to keep his picks down. He's going to throw a lot of yards. And he's going to run the ball very well. I just think they're still so young. When your number one receiver is either Xavier Legette or a rookie, Tet McMillan.
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen's 30 in his 30s. I have a hard time giving him the number one. He's a great slot. Give him he's an older, slower guy. And you said it yourself. This running back room could be the best in the league easily.
It is.
Chuba Hubbard is completely disrespected.
We don't
disrespected.
We don't sleep on Josie Jewell either. Hold on, I got it. Speaking of Josie Jewell, we do not sleep on Josie Jewell right now. No.
Give a card.
Something better. I pulled today. Where is it?
While Bryce is doing that, while Bryce is finding that, I also believe
this out of 10 die cut score Panini football Josie Jewell today. Out of 10.
Also, you know what I'm realizing? This might have to be a two-part video because I think we're going to run out of time. We're going to make the NFC today, and we're going to get through this a little bit quicker. Bryce, we both have the Saints finishing last. I have them going 2-15.
Yeah, I think you're being way too generous. I think this is a 1-16 year for the New Orleans Saints. Yes, they still have Alvin Kamara. Yes, they still have Chris Olave. Taysom Hill may be a cut.
I think,
but their defense is solid, but it's old, and I don't know if they can keep up. Marshawn Lattimore is old.
He's not even there.
That's right. He's in Baltimore now. Or Washington. That's right. They traded him this offseason. They traded him. That's right. Never mind. That's how bad this team is. I thought Marshawn Lattimore was still there.
I mean, but also, if you're running Tyler Shuck or
their main it's going to be there. It's Jake Haener, Spencer Rattler, or Tyler Shuck is going to be one of their three quarterbacks. And Tyler Shuck was drafted in the second round, so he has potential, but he also will be 26 when the season starts. So I don't know how much we are going to actually get out of Tyler Shuck. And he's going to be my starting quarterback this year in one of my Dynasty Fantasy Football leagues because my team is bad. But
I'm seeing that Spencer Rattler is supposed to take this over.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck is dropping big time.
So I think we can move on to the easiest division in the entire NFC. NFC East, Bryce. Who you got number one?
The NFC East is the Philadelphia Eagles. I this team still with losing C.J. Gardner Johnson. Wait, I said he left the Lions. That's right, he left the Lions
He
last
did leave the
offseason, and he
Lions
left
for
he
the
left the
Eagles.
Eagles. He left the Eagles again this offseason. But even then, I still think this team is the best team in the NFC. They have almost no weakness. They have no weaknesses. Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Top five.
Saquon is Saquon. You have AJ Brown, you have Devontae Smith, might be the best 1-2 receiver core in the league.
Is the
Sorry, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, but Jamar Devontae Smith is better than T. Higgins. Jamar Chase is better than AJ Brown, but they still have Dallas Goedert. They have an elite offensive line. Their defense is still the best defense in the league, like it was last year. You still have Nick Sirianni. This team is prepping up to become the new dynasty in the NFL.
Yeah, I can't agree anymore. I have the Eagles going 13-4. No, Bryce said it all. There's nothing more you can say. This is the best team in the league.
They have no weaknesses. The Eagles
Yeah.
have no weaknesses.
Bryce, who you got number two?
At number two, I think I have the Cowboys bouncing back and winning coming second in the NFC East. I do think Dak is going to be healthy this year. Their running game is not as bad as people make it out to be because they have Jaden Blue, they have Phil Maffa, they have Miles Sanders, they have Javonte Williams. They still have a solid offensive line. They traded for George Pickens, who is overrated, but he's still good. You have
I
CeeDee
like their
Lamb
receiver.
still. You have Jalen Brooks. You have Jalen Tolbert. You have Jalen Ferguson or Jake Ferguson, you that defense is still good. So I do think that this is a bounce back year. I think their main issue would be Brian Schottenheimer. If they miss the playoffs, it's solely on Brian Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott getting
You
hurt.
know, I almost gave them the nod, but I have to give it to the Commanders. I really like their additions this offseason, and I don't think we see a slump come out of Jaden Daniels. To be honest, I think he gets better. He got a Debo Samuel who's not expected to do much. He's expected to be a number two, maybe a number three. So I really like what we're gonna see out of this offense. The defense got just as good, maybe even if not even better.
Yeah, they got
Bryce,
Marshawn Lattimore. I think that third in the NFC East will still make the playoffs. So I still think that the Washington Commanders are going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be in third place at 10-7. Cowboys 11-6. Eagles at 14-3.
wow.
I there's going to be a little drop off for Jaden Daniels because we need to pump the brakes on Jaden Daniels real
Oh,
fast.
100%.
Everybody
I
is
agree.
saying that Jaden Daniels is going to be a top five quarterback in the league next year. We need to pump the brakes because everybody was saying the same thing about CJ Stroud last year. And then we saw that sophomore slump hit CJ Stroud. And
With a
now people
great trade.
and now people are questioning if he's the franchise quarterback, which that one needs to pump the brakes too.
That
But
we don't even need.
I think that the Commanders got better because they traded for Laramie Tunsil in the offseason. They still have Brian Robinson. They traded for Debo Samuel, who will have a bounce back year. Mark my words. Him and Scary Terry are going to have 1,000 yards. This defense is still a little bit of a question mark, but I don't think it's enough of a question mark to stop them from missing out in the playoffs.
No, I agree. I don't think that three teams. I think only two teams can make it. I have the Cowboys going 8-9, but I like Dak. I like what they did. I just don't like Brian Schottenheimer. I worry about this year being a wash because of him. Bryce, what do you have the Giants going? Because we both had them finishing last.
I think this is a better year for the Giants than it was last year, but I still think they're going to go 5-12. I think they're going to go
Exactly.
5-12. This team, I don't care what people say. Russell Wilson is done. Russell Wilson is finished.
I
He
think
is
Jackson
finished.
starting by week 5.
I don't think Jackson Dart plays the season at all. I think the only quarterbacks who play are Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, and I think Russell Wilson gets benched after week 5. I think that this team still has a lot of issues. Their receiving core is better than a lot of people think it is. Malik Neighbors is solid. Um,
Oh, great. And they're running
Wandale Robinson is
very
great.
underrated.
Darius Slayton is great. Tyrone Tracy is great. You still have Eric Gray. They drafted
Cam
somebody, or they
Scatabo,
signed, yeah, Cam Scatabo, who I like Cam
I'm not
Scatabo.
crazy about, but
That defense is a lot better than people
I
make
mean,
it
their
out to be.
defensive line is very scary
Yeah,
with
sexy
Dexter
Dexy.
Lawrence, um,
Don't they
Jeff
still
Scott,
no Leonard Will no Leonard
Abdul
Williams is a Saturday.
Carter, and then Brian Burns.
Yeah.
All right, Bryce, let's finish off the NFC before we have to make part two of this video.
Okay.
NFC West, you got going number one.
NFC West, I think it's a bounce back year for the 49ers. I think
Oh, we are
because
disagreeing.
think about it, the 49ers still didn't really lose much offensively. And that's what, if we look at it, really got them to the Super Bowl. Yes, they had a great defense, but we look at their offensive weapons. They lost Debo Samuel, but they have guys to replace him. They have Juwan Jennings. They still have Brandon Ayuk. They have Demarcus Robinson. They have Jacob Cowing. They still have Ricky Pearsall. They have George Kittle still. They have an elite offensive line still. You still have Brock Purdy. Behind Christian McCaffrey, you have Isaac Garendo. They signed Jordan Mason.
That's a good move.
They lost a lot of guys to the Broncos on defense, yes, but they still have Kyle Shanahan and they still have their offense. So I do think that this is a scenario where no, the 49ers aren't Super Bowl contenders, but I do think they win the NFC West.
First off, what you're saying is correct. As a Packers fan, I ain't picking. No, I will not be picking the Niners. I have the Rams going 11-6. I really like what they did adding Devontae Adams. You still have Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua. You have the rumors of if they can trade for Micah Parsons, Aaron Donald comes out of retirement. Even if that doesn't happen,
I saw that
their
today. That's
defense is still fun.
wild.
You still have Sean McVay. You have Matt Stafford, who looked as good as ever. Everyone puts him as a top 10 QBs in the NFL because he is. In
Yeah,
his late 30s, he is playing this well.
he's playing arguably the best football of his career.
I can't pick against this team. And I think they may have a hard schedule, but they're just a well-coached team. So give me
Everybody
the
looked at
Rams
it.
at 11-6.
I was looked at as crazy last year when I was praising the Rams. Do you remember when I said that I thought the Rams were going to finish second in that division, and I was looked at as an idiot? Nah,
A lot of people
nah.
said you were crazy.
I was right.
Fortin,
No,
San
I
Fran,
was
and
wrong
Seattle.
because they finished one. They finished one. But who would have thought the
So
downfall of the
Bryce,
49ers would
you
happen?
had the Niners going number one. Let's speed this up real quick and get to
Okay,
the
I
last
have
three.
the Rams.
Give me your last three.
Everything you said about the Rams, you can chalk up to me. You can chalk
So
up to that too. They
you
have
have
Sean McVay, Matt
Niners,
Stafford. Yeah.
Rams. Who you got three?
Who do you have? Oh, yeah, you have the 49ers. I think I have the Seattle Seahawks finishing 8-9. I
Mhm.
think that this team is going to take a little step back because I don't think Sam Darnold is the quarterback that Geno Smith is. I still think Sam Darnold is solid, but he's not the quarterback that Geno Smith is. Geno Smith gave the Seahawks their stability.
Interesting. I have the Cardinals going 6-11, number three. I do not believe in the other two teams in this division at all. I think Kyler Murray's a
Wait a
good
minute.
quarterback. I think they have a decent team. They're just all around an average team at best.
So
Bryce,
you have the Rams 1, 49ers 2, or the Rams 1,
Rams one,
Cardinals 2?
49ers two, Cardinals three.
Okay. Then I have the Cardinals 4 only because Kyler Murray has proven that he is not the guy. He is not the answer. He's not their franchise quarterback. Marvin Harrison will have an upgrade. I do think what will hold them back is their weak defense and Kyler Murray.
Interesting. I also agree that Kyler Murray is an average quarterback. You think he's bad, I think he's average. I just think he's not great, he's not bad, he's average. My number four team is the Seattle Seahawks at 4-13. I think they take a
Whoa.
massive step back. You go from Geno Smith and DK Metcalf, who had a great connection, to Sam Darnold and Old Man Cooper Cup. I get worried about that. We
They
saw
still have
Kenneth Walker.
JSN.
Yes,
They still have
JSN.
JSN.
You saw Kenneth Walker take a big step back.
Yeah, but they
Their
have
their line isn't as good.
they have Kenneth Charbonnet.
You lose Noah Font. I don't like their defense as much.
They have Elijah Aurora and
Guys,
AJ Bunner.
telling you, 4-13 for the Seattle Seahawks. All right, guys, that was the NFC version of our picks. Stay tuned for AFC. I think we're gonna have some crazy picks that you're gonna be a little surprised by.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next video.
All right.
Just want to
Peace.
plug anything real quick?
Uh, be on the lookout. Thursday Night Football week 2 because that's the first Thursday Night Football broadcast of the year, and it'll be on year round.
Bryce does sell cards on Whatnot. Go take a look at his
eBay too. eBay as well.
eBay as well. He'll put them in the description of his video, and I'll throw his Whatnot in mine. But we'll see you guys. Peace.
Peace.